All right, so good to have you join us. It's still the Good Morning Cross River, the Thursday edition. Now, remember, while we had the drill for the day, we reported that we would be having a guest to talk to us on what is really happening almost on a weekly basis, not just in Cross River State, but in most states of the Federation, and that is violence against women. But we're trying to narrow it down to female genital mutilation. I have, before I introduce my guest, Jisam is here, and she's going to be taking part in this. Jisam, good morning. So good to have you join us, Jisam.
Yeah.
Let me quickly bring you in on that.
Good morning, Joseph.
Okay. Before we I started the show alone. I said Jisam was actually doing one or two officially before she joins us, and she's here.
Yeah.
Now, my guest already has been seen. My guest is a seasoned research fellow, and she is the executive director of RTK Initiative at ESSOR. Atom, good morning. So good to have you join us.
Good morning. Thank you.
Now, Atom, before the cameras came on us, you gave a very shocking revelation that out of 19 local governments in Cross River State, about 16 are practicing the female genital mutilation. But before we go into statistics of that nature, let's first get to know, so that the common man or someone who is just hearing the name female genital mutilation, what does it stand for? What does it represent? What is FGM?
Okay, FGM is a removal of the female genital organs without, one, their consent, two, medical reasons. So this is done against their will because it has a negative effect on them. So FGM is the removal of the female genitals against medical reasons. So it is not something that has been approved, it's not medically approved, but it's just in norms and stuff that has been done by community culture. So that's it.
Now, over the years, we've had different groups advocating for female genital mutilation. This is not the first time people are talking about this. Traditional leaders have been even brought in to handle this. So how come this is still a problem in our society?
Yeah, this is stuff of the culture. It's something that has been existing for a very long time, and for me, it's a gradual process that it take more awareness, more, as we keep advocating like what we are doing now. It's creating awareness. People are knowing what we are doing, and as such, it reduces. There are a lot of NGOs that are doing this stuff. Now, lockdown had a very harmful part. Lockdown had a very, very harmful part for FGM reasons, because a lot of NGOs that were advocating couldn't advocate again because they were locked down. And as such, people that were practicing this stuff had that opportunity to continue. And when they continue, because there were economic crisis, now these people that are doing this FGM, they were going to knock on the doors begging to do it. And also, now they're not going on their normal, let's assume before they were doing at 2,000, they're not going to do, I'm going to do at 500 naira for you. Now you see, now everybody's hearing this situation now. All the children, now the lockdown had a lot of people in school, return home. So all those children that were running away from home, using school as a case study not to go back, were now affected. So now the amount has been reduced. They are no more in school. So they have now come back to the villages. So as such, they reduced the amount, and the economic situations had to increase it. And another thing, people were not available. The NGOs, the activists that were doing this stuff were not disposed to do it because they were in a tight situation. So they used the opportunity to increase when we're all fighting for reduction. So we are still advocating for that to be reduced.
That means, to put it very clearly, the COVID-19 lockdown saw a spike, in the FGM practices?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
yes.
Now, let me quickly, one would wonder, why are we, what's the reason behind this female genital mutilation?
Okay, one of the reasons for behind FGM is they have this, should I call it illusion or assumption that they are going to suppress sexuality, promiscuity among women. So they feel, I don't want my daughter to be raped by an outsider. So if I just cut her out, definitely it's going to hinder such issues. So it is a cultural belief, a cultural norms. Now, when it was being done, at that time it was not, their perception was not, it was just for a particular reason, but it has become a problem, a more difficult problem in that community. Now, if you don't do it, for you to belong, for you, now there are some traditions that...
It's a thing of pride now.
Yes, yes, yes. So if you don't do it, you don't belong to the group. There's this lady that was talking that because she didn't do it, she's been
Ostracized.
when she goes to the society, even to the market, she's being mocked. The girl with a long thing. So because she was not circumcised, so, yes, she was not mutilated. So she's now being mocked in the community. If she's going to amongst friends, so she's now seen that she's not part of the women because she was not mutilated. So it's also now that discrimination already is causing a problem for her. So there are some NGOs that, okay, you know, after this mutilation, what they do ceremony. So now this ceremony is used to cover up. So there were some NGOs that were also trying to advocate, as they were advocating, so that it soon, now what you do, the ceremony will still go on, but the cutting won't be done. That was what they were advocating. We are not coming to tell you don't do that ceremony, but what we are trying to tell you, don't cut, because a lot of life has been lost.
Yeah, let's talk about the health implications of this mutilations.
Okay, one of the health mutilation effects of this is when most of them they have during their menstrual cycles, they have painful menstruations. This is one of the things. Also during childbirth, I don't know if you've seen, the first time I saw the picture of this FGM, and I was like, how do people do this, as in their conscience just allow them to sleep? Because they cut these women. When I saw the pictures, they have 3 different types. So there's the one that cuts just the clitoris out, and there's the one that cuts the clitoris, cuts the first layer, and there's one that cuts to seal, and you only left with a hole. So now how will the baby come out from that hole? So that's the question. So now they don't enjoy sex. So someone marrying them will have to, now the husband will have to suffer it, like going to look for a woman outside. And if you want to go for surgery, that's another painful stuff. So she has to go to CS or when they need to cut through that part if she wants to give birth. So it's a very terrible situation, and most of them can be infected in HIV because, you know, that sharp razor is not, they don't use medical sterilized stuff, so they can use one razor, and you don't even know if the person that is doing that FGM is also safe, because the inflow of HIV does not need plenty blood, just small. So if she had a cut, unfortunately she had a cut, and she's cutting someone that has blood, and the blood just passes, so that girl is also affected.
So there is no benefit at all to female genital mutilation?
There's no benefit at all, because it's now very dangerous to the health. It's called health hazard, because those children will die, they'll bleed. So if proper medical care is not given immediately, and you know it's not allowed medically to be done, so it's been done behind the scene. So now it is when they have, so if they don't have this knowledge, okay, if I'm going to the hospital, they know also if there's a law. So if I'm going to go to the hospital now, I'm the person that did it. So while I'm going to report myself, okay, I did this, so help this child, they might be arrested. So
So they know it is wrong, and they
Now,
keep
because
doing
yes,
it.
yes, the advocacy now
Okay.
is now making them to know it is wrong, but because of the economic crisis, so they still need something to. That is why they're now going to like ask you, can we have it at a lesser amount? Can we do it at a lesser amount because we need to survive? So they are saying it's a business for them, but they're forgetting that it's a risk to another person's life.
Okay, Atom, let's look at the very shocking revelation you gave to us before the light came on us. You say about 16 local government areas in Cross River State out of the 18 are still practicing the female genital mutilation. Now, talk to us on that.
Okay, yeah. Out of so many communities are doing FGM, out of 18, we have 16 local government from research. They're doing still practicing FGM, but it's not that they're just coming publicly to do the FGM. We're doing. It's just behind the scene. They are still practicing, irrespective of, like I said, the lockdown was before there were high improvements of eradicating these FGM, but the lockdown really made it a bit difficult because most of these children had to return back home, and those communities that would say, okay, we're running from home to do because you're in school, now you are home, and the amount is now, okay, it was 5,000 before, but it's now 500, so it is very, very, very cheaper, and I want my child to be among these people that has been labeled. So sometimes just like also cultural stuff, you see. So out of 18 local governments, 16 based on research is still practicing across river, but though it is not openly, but they are still doing it on behind the scenes.
Apart from advocating that female genital mutilation should be stopped, what other consequences is being meted out to these communities? Fine, you know the communities that still practice these things.
Yeah.
What is done to inhibit them? What are these NGOs doing? What is your NGO doing to ensure that criminal prosecution, because that's criminal to say the least. What is being done to stop this particular thing, apart from the advocacy?
The VAP law that was signed, 2021 VAP law that was signed December by the governor, it really favors the survivors. Or if I'm coming to report you're the one practicing FGM, so you go for 4 years imprisonment, or you pay 200,000 naira. So there are laws.
Don't you think 200,000 is too cheap? There might be a season.
If they had that 200,000 naira, they'll not be demanding for 500 naira.
Some might even be. I'm just saying the money seems a little out of. If God forbid, I have a mom who practices that, and I heard she's been arrested. What is 200,000 naira that I can't pay to take her out of prison?
Yeah,
I'm just saying she might not have the money, but I mean there might be family members that will rally around to ensure that that money is paid to release her, and she continues what she's doing.
Yes. Now, if you pay that money, now that is why we are advocating as activists. You understand? When we have a case and this is a penalty, you will not want your name to be. Agree, you did it, you paid for it, but your name is dented already. Your image. And now let me tell you, if you are also paying for your mother to be released, definitely you're also denting. Okay, you're a high-profile society person, and your mom is doing that business. You understand? Will you want in it? Because definitely
the records might not be out there in the public that I paid.
Yes,
the most important thing is she has been granted bail.
She has been granted bail. Yeah. But have you also thought of that? You know, now the society where a lot of things are going viral. A lot of things are going viral. Social media picks things. So definitely you will not want to name.
People survive social media slander all the time. I mean, it doesn't kill anybody.
Yes, it doesn't. It does. It works most times. It works. It works most times. We think it doesn't work, but it does.
So clearly, the NGO is pushing very hard in line with the VAP Act that was signed by the governor.
Yes. The VAP Act really favors FGM practices. Yes. Now, and you know, before it was not really important, it was not really relevant, but now it's really relevant because people are really taking it. We've lost a lot of life. We even have chiefs in local government. I know of a community in Wanse, the community clan in Wanse. He's an advocate for it. In his community, they're not practicing it. Okay. In his community, not as Calabar South,
Just
as a
one
local
community.
government. Yes, I'm saying as that community, they're not practicing because they know the danger involved. There are other communities that also are not practicing, but you know, it will still be said Calabar South is still practicing. In as well, we have like, if we say we have 220 communities and 5 are practicing, 5 are not practicing and 15 are practicing, we'll still say Calabar
So
South.
it starts somewhere, right?
Yes, it's usually like summary of under community. You not come and say, okay, and this community under this community is not doing it, but it's still someone under Calabar South. Yes, but there are a lot of there are success stories, stories that people are not practicing, and we still keep advocating. So we speak out using like what we are doing now. We are advocating. We are all advocating because it's getting too much. Social media, the local jingles, the radio jingles, there are a lot of other NGOs, the billboards on the road are saying a lot of things. So people are getting aware of it. But just that it's so unfortunate that what we're fighting for had to be cut down, and we're fighting for the reduction, eradication. But while we're on the process of it, lockdown came in, and when the lockdown came in, instead of it to reduce, it rather increased.
Now, since the VAP Act was signed in December, December is around the corner again, almost a year. Has anybody been prosecuted for FGM? Or no case of FGM has been recorded since then until now?
Well, for that, the other NGOs, I will not tell you. I have. I won't come to say, give figures of something I'm not really certain about. But the other NGOs, in as much as I'm not working directly. We work as a synergy. I refer to you. You are in charge. You know medical services. You offer. He is legal. You offer. So there's what we call referral pathways. So we have different aspects of it.
So nobody so far has been arrested or prosecuted.
That's according to her, maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
According to our initiative,
yes, according to my own NGO, I don't have any fact.
Okay, let's quickly bring this home now. Because of time, let's look at, because we have to bring you back on this anytime soon. We have to ensure we double up, since the COVID-19 has almost come to an end, lockdown. So we need to double up and push this further. But let's look at your message to those watching us right now. Maybe there's one who knows someone that knows someone who is still into this practice. Let's get your word, for them, in a way of encouraging them to stop that practice.
Okay, my word is, if you see something, say something. So if you see the practice of FGM, it doesn't have to be your sister, it doesn't have to be your relative, but you could save a soul. Saving a soul is far better off than making a soul to lose because of just culture. Yes, so some cultures could be abolished, and we are trying to see how we can abolish some of these cultures. Thank you. Thank
you so very much. We've heard it there from the Executive Director of RTK Initiative, Atom Esau, on the female genital mutilation. We'll do our very best as media to ensure that this menace is really reduced to the barest minimum. Stay with us. Good morning, Cross Rabbit, shortly as we look at safety at home with Engineer Toby Michael. Don't go away.